And go. Hey, how's it going? It's Tim Brown. I'm here at Redbox Plus. We're doing a little tour today. I'm with
Lyle Blanchard, Vice President of Marketing.
Patrick Kiesling, Brand President.
and we're talking about what are some of the biggest problems to contractors using roll-off dumpsters. So what are some of the issues that come up?
Well, there are a number of things that can get in the way, Tim, but let me just tell you a quick story. So we have all of our franchisees are locally owned, locally operated. So all of our Redbox Plus operators are owned and operated right in the market that your contractor would be in. But we had a owner tell us this great story that he had a contractor that would order a box on Monday, a roll-off dumpster on Monday, and then he would call him to come and pick it up. Usually 5 days. We're kind of a quick turn company. And he'd call on Friday or maybe even Monday and say, "Hey, Tim, can I come and get that roll-off?" And the guy would say, "I'm going to get started till Thursday. I'm sorry, we're 3 days behind. Can you give me 3 days?" And they'd have this back and forth and went on and on and on. And finally, our owner said, "Tim, how come you're always late? I mean, it's costing me because I could rent that. We're in high demand. I could rent that." He's like, "Well, quite honestly, I got conditioned over all the years to lie and have your competitors. I had to give them 3 days notice to even get the box on time." And so,
yes.
Once he said, "Look, we do what we say we're going to do. That's a policy. That's one of our customer care standards.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I'll bring it when you need it. I'll get it when you're done." And that's kind of what started Redbox Plus really rolling, that we started to realize if we can help train on a very unique product and on a very unique customer care standard, we can spread across the
Who was that owner?
It was actually Brand President Patrick
Right here.
Kiesling.
I love it. So yeah, I hear this from contractors. The problem is timing and consistency. Is it going to be where I need it to be when I need it to be there? Otherwise, I literally don't get jobs done. Like our people are going to be there. So if that's not there, that's a big problem.
Yeah, if I had to boil it down, we always tell our contract or our
Let's walk into the next room as you're
Check
talking
out,
through
yeah.
this. Yeah.
So we always talk to our owners when they talk to that contractor to make sure you remind them locally owned, locally operated. When you call, you talk to the owner, and we have a 24-hour turnaround. That's a standard.
I love
you
it.
Call us, we're going to come and get it. We're going to bring it when you want it.
So we're going to talk. I like doing the hands like this on live because it's got the Gershai thing. So it's the Beastie Boys style. We're going to talk through the original idea. Literally, we've got the original sketch for this awesome product, ridiculously cool product. This is the idea. It was literally on the flight and everything.
Yeah, so this is the napkin drawing, as you called it, Tim. The founder of the company was a guy by the name of Jeff Mateka. He's still involved, but he literally came up with this idea flying back from New York to Minneapolis. And this is kind of how it started. And this is what we went off. And it went from this. If you follow me over here, it went from this to a United States patented product. So as you can see, we've got a full patent going here.
So why we can even talk about the idea because it's patented?
Yeah, it's patented. And you fast forward, here we are today in 2021 with 88 franchises and nearly 300 territories across the country.
Pretty quick. And if you look here, guys, this idea of the what do you call this, porta potty?
Yeah, the portable toilet.
Portable toilet here. Attached to the thing. We'll look at the product here.
Yeah, in fact, if we sneak around here.
All of your roll-off dumpster questions coming up here.
Yeah.
So feel free to ask a question, like the video. Appreciate you guys watching.
Why don't we just sneak over here quick if we can? Because if you look at this container right here, just roll out first. This is really the epitome of what you saw in that drawing. This is really what you saw when you saw that initial napkin drawing, we called it, the portable restroom connected to a roll-off container. So, some of the benefits with this, obviously, are going to be 2 services delivered to the job site with 1 phone call. It's 1 invoice. You never have the toilet not show up when the crew is there. You never have the box not be there when the crew is there. And that's one of the advantages I think that Redbox Plus brings to help drive efficiency and help really worker site focused services. That's what the contractor needs, and that's what the guys who are on the crew or the gals that are on the crew need as well. So
you've got the portable toilet and you've got a branding opportunity for what is this? The idea
so we offer a co-branded preferred partner program. So if we have a contractor that really gets involved and starts to use this quite a bit, you can see how large this front area is. We'll actually feature your business right up here. It's a big magnet that has so if it was Hook Construction, it'd say Hook Construction. So we do that to help them on the job site. And part of the reason we do that is one of the things that Redbox Plus we recognize is it's the customer's customer that we have to help our customer with. What I mean is not only hook construction, but also your customer there has to be treated right as well. And so why not get a little promotion for you and the work you're doing?
And not that little. How big is it? Is the magnet's pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's going to be 2 feet by 3 feet at a minimum.
And basically one of the biggest things I talked about on the podcast too, but this idea that anything on the job site, anything in the neighborhood is ultimately going to be the best promo that you can have. You got the sign, you got your trucks rolling through, you got your Redbox Plus that you got your logo on, like anything that you can do to get more branding in that neighborhood, to me, that's powerful. That's the first stuff. Don't even come to us for digital marketing until you're taking every advantage on job sites, until you're doing all the physical in-person stuff very well. I think that's basically the low-hanging fruit in your marketing.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, and you're working in the neighborhood. You're working in the neighborhood with potential customers. There's nothing more powerful than that.
Exactly.
Right. And I was going to say, one of the other things we do is some of our contractors have become such Redbox Plus fans. We actually put out a co-branded catalog sheet for them. So when they're out selling a job, they sort of use this as one last thing, Mr. and Mrs. Hood. We're a preferred partner with Redbox Plus. We'll bring a unit that has a bathroom as well as the roll-off container.
It's like part of your marketing almost.
Yeah, so we have contractors actually, and I always tell our owners, when a contractor wants a sales sheet with this on it to separate themselves from the next competitor, you're vital.
Yes, you're starting to get actual real like competitive advantage stuff for the contractors themselves.
That marketing collateral sheet has both our logo on it and the contractor's logo on it. It's one way for them to separate themselves.
So, all right, big topic here in the conversation that I wanted to talk through is the difference between roll-off versus a dump trailer. Am I saying that right? Roll-off, dump trailer. Right, yeah. So why do roll-off versus dump trailer? What are the pros and cons here?
So many. So one of the things that we see first off, I'll say that there's a place for both of them. So there are job sites where roll-off is necessary and needed. There's job sites where a dump trailer necessary and needed. So it's not one or the other. It's not all or nothing. There's a place for all of it. And we have many customers that use us on some projects and use dump trailers on others. But one of the things that we've heard a lot and we talked about earlier in this talk was using dump trailers or moving to dump trailers away from roll-offs because you're not getting the service that that you want or need. So they're not showing up when they're supposed to, and your crews are not able to work because they don't have anywhere to dispose of material.
And sometimes people will buy their own dump trailer.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
And so, like, why this versus that? What's the difference?
I think they buy the dump trailer initially out of frustration and then just peace of mind. So in that story we opened with, where the contractor couldn't get a roll-off container delivered. I mean, it took 3 days to get one. Yeah. We have a 24-hour turnaround, right? Yeah. So they buy that dump trailer because they're sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of waiting for my vendor to show up. And, we work around that and through that. But so dump trailers do have a role, and I think they initially do it for peace of mind. Now, you're looking at anywhere from $7,000 to $22,000 for that dump trailer. So even if you have a couple of them, which as Patrick said, we understand and we believe that there's a role for all of it. How many are you going to have? Yeah. And then if you get into a bigger job, so let's say you have a $10,000 dump trailer, which is maybe 8 by 14, but you get a bigger job, you're going to need a bigger unit. If you knew you had a trusted partner, now you really have peace of mind. Yeah. You know that, hey, I don't have to have a dump trailer for every single job or a dump trailer for all my big jobs. I can rely on a Redbox.
If I had to guess, Redbox Plus is going to be a little bit more expensive than some other. Just because it's got cooler stuff, I'm guessing. No. So it's not really.
No. So we are extremely competitively priced in all our markets. Usually we are not the highest and we're not the lowest. So we're typically right in the middle. And a lot of times, you talk about the added benefits of having the toilets on site. So it's still going to be cheaper than if you were to get these services.
Yeah. Which there is another component here, and we did talk about it on the podcast as well. So go watch that once it's out. But the idea that it's actually decreasing liability. This little shitter is decreasing liability. He's like, okay, it's decreasing liability. Did you know that? Why is this decreasing liability?
Well, I can answer this, I guess, but in today's world, the days of building a bathroom on a job site are over, especially at the commercial level. Cameras are everywhere, but really residentials now are heavily cameraed. And you work as a contractor to build your reputation, and we have story after story after story of contractors who have had issues where somebody on their crew or a subcontractor on their crew, and it isn't that these crew members are bad people, they got to go. So they decide to risk it, make a bathroom somewhere on the site, and something goes awry, and now we got big problems. So that's one piece. So
can you imagine, the homeowner's kid walking out and accidentally, there's a total accident, freak accident, but now you're literally getting sued. So don't get sued.
Well, you also
take care of your people.
You can have some liability reduction as well, in the sense that if you're jumping in my pickup truck, wearing my contractor shirt, driving my contractor pickup truck, and you're cruising down as fast as you can to the gas station because you got to quick use it.
Only 20 minutes. Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Even though I got 2 hot dogs, a Mountain Dew, and a new tin of Skol. But anyway, if you're cruising down there as fast as you can, if you're in my equipment and have an accident, I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it.
And the other one that you mentioned on the podcast was if you ever, people don't do this as much, but sometimes people try to use the homeowner's bathroom, and then like if something came up missing and it was the son or something like that, it doesn't have to be their problem. You didn't have to actually steal something for the homeowner to be like,
yeah, what happened to the gold ring I left on the shelf?
Well, we let that guy use the bathroom.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's like.
So our point though is, and I need to share, we have a 90% retention rate with our contractor customers across the country. 9 out of 10 that use us keep using us. And I think it has a lot to do with some of the things we're talking about, that consistency. We show up when we say we're going to show up. We have a little higher standard of customer care. And I think the other thing is the fact that we're helping drive efficiency. And the number one thing, quite honestly, is we have happy workers. Yeah. They want this. They need this. They can't just get up and go down the hallway to use the restroom. So when you're talking about labor shortages, happy workers matters a lot. Right. Oh, big time. And in the roofing industry, which is certainly a big industry, I just read, I think it was like close to 75% of their next crew is coming from referral from their existing crew. So I'm telling you to come and work for XYZ Roofing because that's where I work. And they do this. Right. Yeah. Nice. I like that. It's a recruitment tool in a way. For real.
Yeah, we do see that. So we'll see subs, and we teach this from a customer service perspective. Is our customer service is not just the contractor, it's not just the homeowner, it's the subs, it's everybody that we deal with. And we see a lot of times subs will work for multiple companies, right? They'll put roofing for 5 different companies, and you'll see sub on this site and then this site and this site, and they're bringing workers with them. So the best ones will all pull together, and work for the same contractors.
Yeah,
man, I love to hear that.
Yeah, and I always love when a subcontractor who's got a general contractor that uses us, then he goes to one that doesn't. Pretty soon that sub's calling and asking, can't we get a Redbox Plus?
That's good.
That's what we want. So, but ultimately it's about how do we serve that contractor. So.
All right. So this whole live was a little bit, it's a tour. It's a little bit of this idea between roll-off trailers and
roll-off dumpsters and dump trailers.
Roll-off dumpsters and dump trailers. I'm not the expert here. These guys are. Masterclass in pitching, though. Give them your concise 1-minute pitch of why they should try Redbox Plus for one of their jobs coming up.
Do it live.
I think first thing I tell you is it's locally owned and locally operated. If you're sick of making a phone call and getting routed through 100 different directions or not having responsiveness, that is probably the key thing we bring. All of our roll-off containers are owned by a locally owned, locally operated Redbox Plus. And that's a huge difference. We have a 24-hour turnaround time. If you're sick of things not coming when you want them, know that we'll be there within 24 hours, typically sooner, but that's one of the things you're gonna get as well. And if you have any issue, or if you wanna talk about how do we become a preferred partner, I want magnets, I wanna get into that phone call can go right to an owner. And I think that's those are the 3 things I think are first, because we're always competitively priced, but I think it's those extra care standards that we bring. We get it.
Do we have any questions on the live? Okay, well, folks, appreciate you guys watching. I have one last question for you guys. Why become a Redbox Plus franchisee?
Proven. I think that's the answer I have is we're proven. We've got 88 franchise owners across the nation, over 300 territories in operation. We continue to see continued success and great growth. Right now, we've seen a major growth curve. The word is getting out there, and we're going to sell out at some point. So if you are interested, now's the time to at least come in and literally kick the tires if you want.
I love it. And the riches are in the niches, folks. I would say this isn't necessarily the sexiest industry
talking about?
per se.
How do you mean?
But
Nice.
guess what? Franchisees are doing great business with this, and I love to see it. I love to hear about it. Thank you guys for having us.
Thanks for having
Absolutely.
me.
Thanks
You
for
bet.
coming.
Appreciate
All
it.
right, thanks, Tim. See you.
Bye.